Hello, it's Mike, and we are going to read from the General Test Study Guide out of the 8083 Study Guide book. We are now going through Chapter 5. Let's get to the questions. Question 5.1. Which of the following is not a characteristic of matter? A. Porosity, B. Impenetrability, or C. Energy? The correct answer is C. Energy. Question 5.2. A fully charged aircraft battery is an example of A. Potential energy, B. Kinetic energy, or C. Power. The correct answer is A. Potential energy. Question 5.3. What force is exerted on the piston in a hydraulic cylinder if the area of the piston is 1.2 square inches and the fluid pressure is 850 psi? Is it A, 1,020 pounds, B, 960 pounds, or C, 850 pounds? The correct answer is A, 1,020 pounds. Question 5.4. An engine that weighs 350 pounds is removed from an aircraft by means of a mobile hoist. The engine is raised 3 feet above its attachment mount, and the entire assembly is then moved forward 12 feet. A constant force of 70 pounds is required to move the loaded hoist. What is the total work input required to move the hoist? A, 840 foot-pounds, B, 1,890 foot-pounds, or C, 1,050 foot-pounds? The correct answer is A, 840 foot-pounds. Question 5.5. How much work input is required to lower, not drop, a 120-pound weight from the top of a 3-foot table to the floor? A, 120 pounds of force, B, 360 pounds of force, or C, 40 foot-pounds of force? The correct answer is B, 360 foot-pounds. Question 5.6. Which of the following is not a kind of friction? A, rolling friction, B, static friction, or C, resisting friction? The correct answer is C, resisting friction. Question 5.7. In physics, which of the following factors are necessary to determine power? A, or number 1, force exerted, 2, distance moved, or 3, time required? Is it A, 1 and 2, B, 2 and 3, or C, 1, 2, and 3? The correct answer is C, 1, 2, and 3. Force exerted, distance moved, and time required. Question 5.8. The simplest machine and probably the most familiar is A, the gear, B, the lever, or C, the inclined plane. The answer is B, the lever. If you tried 5.9, if you tried to lift a 200-pound aircraft part, which type of pulley design would make for the least effort needed? Single movable pulley, B, block and tackle, or C, single fixed pulley? The correct answer is B, block and tackle. Question 5.10. The amount of force applied to a rope, A, in figure 5.1 below, to lift the weight is A, 12 pounds, B, 15 pounds, or C, 20 pounds? The correct answer is B, 15 pounds. 5.11. The type of stress that can cause an object to become distorted or change its shape is A, torsion, B, strain, or C, bending? The correct answer is B, strain. 5.12. Blank is the type of stress that tries to pull the object apart. A, compression, B, shear, or C, tension? The correct answer is C, tension. 5.13. We need to calculate the acceleration of an airplane traveling at 300 miles per hour. The pilot pushes the throttle to a speed of 600 miles per hour in 30 seconds. What is the airplane's average acceleration in miles per hour per second? A, 20 miles per hour per second, B, 300 miles per hour per second, or C, 10 miles per hour per second? The correct answer is C, 10 miles per hour per second. Question 5.14. Which of the following is Newton's first law of motion, generally termed the law of inertia? A. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. B. Force is proportional to the product of mass and acceleration. Or C. Objects at rest tend to remain at rest, and objects in motion tend to remain in motion at the same speed and direction unless acted on by an external force. The correct answer is C. Objects at rest tend to remain at rest, and objects in motion tend to remain in motion at the same speed and direction unless acted on by an external force. 515. Based on Newton's second law of motion, the formula to calculate thrust is where? A. F equals W parentheses VF dash VI parentheses over GT. B. F equals MA. Or C. F equals MA divided by GT. The answer is A. F, which is force, equals W, which is weight, parentheses initial velocity force minus velocity initial, and over GT, which is gravity time. Question 516. Newton's third law of motion is often called A. Momentum, B. The law of potential energy, or C. The law of action and reaction. The answer is C. The law of action and reaction. Question 517. Which of the following scenarios is an example of centripetal force? A. The G-forces felt by the flight crew during a steep turn. B. The forces on spinning propeller blade at it works to pull itself from the hub. Or C. The forces on turbine engine shaft as it works to hold onto each attached compressor blade. The correct answer is C. The forces on turbine engine shaft as it works to hold onto each attached compressor blade. 518. Which of the following is not used to express quantities of heat energy? A. Calorie, B. Degree, or C. BTU. The correct answer is B. Degree. 519. An airplane engine is burning enough fuel to produce 680 horsepower, but it is only creating 285. What is the thermal efficiency of this airplane's engine? A. 238.59%, B. 41.91%, or C. 58.08%. The correct answer is B. 41.91%. Question 520. The heat transfer process of convection occurs in blank. A. Solids and liquids, B. Liquids and gases, or C. Solids only. The correct answer is B. Liquids and gases. 521. Which statement concerning heat and or temperature is true? A. There is an inverse relationship between temperature and heat. B. Temperature is a measure of the kinetic energy of the molecules of any substance. Or C. Temperature is a measure of the potential energy of the molecules of any substance. The correct answer is B. Temperature is a measure of kinetic energy of the molecules of any substance. 522. Thermal expansion is very slight in A. Gases, B. Liquids, or C. Solids. The correct answer is C. Solids. 523. Which pressure includes atmospheric pressure and its reading? A. Gauge pressure, B. Absolute pressure, or C. Differential pressure. The answer is B. Absolute pressure. 524. If the volume of a confined gas is double without the addition of more gas, assuming the temperature remains constant, the pressure will A. Increase in direct proportion to the volume increase, B. Remain the same, or C. Be reduced to 1/2 of its original value. The correct answer is C. Be reduced to 1/2 of its original value. Question 525. Which gas law states that all gases expand and contract in direct proportion to the change in the absolute temperature, provided the pressure is held constant? A. Dalton's law, B. General gas law, or C. Charles' law. The answer is C. Charles' law. 526. What force is exerted on the piston in a hydraulic cylinder if their area of the piston is 1.2 square inches and the fluid pressure is 850 psi? Is it A, 1,020 pounds, B, 960 pounds, or C, 850 pounds? The correct answer is A, 1,020 pounds. 527. If a double acting actuating cylinder in a 3,000 psi system has a piston with a surface area of 3 square inches on the extension side and a rod with a cross section area of 1 square inch attached to the piston on the other side, approximately how much force will the actuator be able to produce when retracting? A, 9,000 pounds, B, 6,000 pounds, or C, 3,000 pounds? The correct answer is B, 6,000 pounds. Question 528. Which statement concerning Bernoulli's principle is true? A, the pressure of fluid increases at points where the velocity of the fluid increases. B, the pressure of fluid decreases at points where the velocity of fluid increases. Or C, it applies only to gases and the expansion or contraction when exposed to heat. The correct answer is B, pressure of the fluid decreases at points where the velocity of the fluid increases. 529. What does the following describe? When two adjacent objects have the same natural frequency and one starts to vibrate, that energy wave can be transferred to the other object, causing it to vibrate as well. A, resonance, B, Doppler effect, or C, propagation. The correct answer is A, resonance. Question 530. Decibels are a measure of a sound's A, wavelength, B, amplitude, or C, frequency. The correct answer is B, amplitude. Question 531. What atmospheric conditions will cause the true landing speed of an aircraft to be the greatest? A, low temperature with low humidity, B, high temperature with low humidity, or C, high temperature with high humidity. The correct answer is C, high temperature with high humidity. Question 532. Which mixture of a cubic foot of air will be the most dense? A, air containing 2% vapor water, B, air containing 65% water vapor, or C, air which is completely saturated with water vapor. The correct answer is A, air containing 2% water vapor. Question 533. Which condition is the actual amount of water vapor in a mixture of air and water? A, relative humidity, B, dew point, or C, absolute humidity? The correct answer is C, absolute humidity. 534. Which is the ratio of the water vapor actually present in the atmosphere to the amount that would be present if the air were saturated at the prevailing temperature and pressure? A, absolute humidity, B, relative humidity, or C, dew point? The correct answer is B, relative humidity. Question 535. Which of the following is not a true statement about the four forces of flight? A, when an airplane is at a constant altitude, lift and weight are equal. B, when an airplane is decelerating, it has less thrust than drag. Or C, when the airplane is climbing, it has more weight than lift. The correct answer is C, when the airplane is climbing, it has more weight than lift. Question 536. Which term below is best described as the velocity of a fluid increases, the static pressure of that fluid will decrease, providing there is no energy added or energy taken away? A, Bernoulli's principle, B, Newton's third law, or C, Pascal's law? The correct answer is A, Bernoulli's principle. Question 537. An increase in the speed at which an airfoil passes through the air increases lift because A, the increased speed of the airflow creates a greater pressure differential between the upper and lower surfaces. B, the increased speed of the airflow creates a lesser pressure differential between the upper and lower surface. Or C, the increased velocity of the relative wind increases the angle of attack. Correct answer is A, the increased speed of the airflow creates a greater pressure differential between the upper and lower surfaces? Question 538. Aspect ratio of the wing is defined as the ratio of the A, wingspan to the wing roots, B, square of the chord to the wingspan, or C, wingspan to the mean chord. The correct answer is C, wingspan to the mean chord. Question 539. Which of the below is not a method of controlling boundary layer air? A, air suction through small holes on the wing's upper surface. B, wing leading edge slots. Or C, wingtip electrical generators. The correct answer is C, wingtip electrical generators. 540. The term that best describes the approach of the boundary layer to the center of the wing that begins to lose speed due to skin friction and becomes thicker and turbulent is A, transition point, B, turbulent air, or C, laminar air. The correct answer is B, turbulent air. Question 541. The purpose of an aircraft wing dihedral is to A, increase lateral stability, B, increase longitudinal stability, or C, increase lift coefficient of the wing. Correct answer is A, increase lateral stability. 542. What type of stability for an airplane involves the tendency for the nose to pitch up or pitch down, rotating around the lateral axis? A, lateral stability, B, directional stability, or C, longitudinal stability. The correct answer is C, longitudinal stability. 543. Which stability term represents a small amount of oscillation around both the longitudinal and the vertical axis? A, static stability, B, Dutch roll, or C, dynamic stability. Answer is B, Dutch roll. 544. The ailerons or spoilers on the jet transport are types of flight controls or lateral control for the A, vertical axis, B, lateral axis, or C, longitudinal axis. Correct answer is C, longitudinal axis. 545. The rudder is a type of flight control or directional control for the A, vertical axis, B, lateral axis, or C, longitudinal axis. Correct answer is A, vertical axis. 546. The elevator attached to the horizontal stabilizer is a type of flight control or directional control for the A, vertical axis, B, lateral axis, or C, longitudinal axis. Correct answer is B, lateral axis. Question 547. Which type of flight control tabs move in the opposite direction of the control surface on which it is attached? A, trim tabs, B, anti-servo tabs, or C, balance tabs. Correct answer is C, balance tabs. Question 548. How many of the following devices are primarily used to modify the amount of lift produced by a wing? Is it flaps, slots, slats, spoilers, or tabs? So A, 2 of the 5 listed, B, 3 of the 5 listed, or C, 4 of the 5 listed devices are primarily used to modify lift. The correct answer is C, 4 of the 5 listed devices are primarily used to modify lift. Those are flaps, slots, slats, spoilers, and tabs. 549. The speed of sound in the atmosphere is affected by variations in which of the following? A, sound frequency, B, ambient temperature, or C, barometric pressure. The answer is B, ambient temperature. 550. At which speed does the airplane experience stability problems? A, subsonic, B, transonic, or C, supersonic? The correct answer is B, transonic. 551. Which type of wave is not a shock wave? A, expansion, B, oblique, or C, normal? The correct answer is A, expansion. Name 4 of the 7 main components of a helicopter. A, landing gear, transmission, tail rotor, and main rotor. B, cabin, tail boom, transmission, power plant. Or C, blades, tail rotor, landing gear, and tail boom. The correct answer is B, cabin, tail boom, transmission, and power plant. Question 553. The rotor system on a helicopter that has blades which are rigidly attached to the hub, with the blades and a hub able to teeter like a seesaw, is the A. rigid rotor system, B. fully articulated rotor system, or C. semi-rigid rotor system. The correct answer is C. semi-rigid rotor system. Question 554. Identify which anti-torque system of a helicopter presents the least amount of risk to personnel on the ground and creates less drag on the flight. A. Notar, B. Fenestron, or C. Tail rotor. The correct answer is B. Fenestron.